Enchanting, shadowy tales from mysterious glades. Amazon review. Intriguing and captivating with a combination of standalone and through composed narrative elements. There's a good grasp of the Anglo-Saxon or Norse bardic style with hypnotic passages of verse which bring to mind the likes of Ted Hughes or Seamus Heaney, as well as sections employing a more conventional short story approach. Steeped in pagan or dark age references to keep the reader on their toes, with glimpses of shadowy figures in the half-light of mysterious forests. Set in turbulent times with cultures fighting for dominance and a recurring theme surrounding the death of old gods and the arrival, importation, or birth of new ones. Half poetry, half prose, a thought-provoking storytelling voice. Let's hope more tales are unearthed and brought to a modern readership. Dark paganism within the Robin Hood legend. Amazon review. The easiest way I can describe the lore of the Sælvatici is to say imagine the 80s TV show of Robin of Sherwood if it was stripped of its family-friendly tea-time slot and was plunged entirely into the dark paganism that was only hinted at in the show. It's bloody, sexual, atmospheric, and made up of discovered documents, hinting at a repressed folk movement from the Dark Ages, with the repetition of certain phrases suggesting an oral legend repeated to the faithful before, at some point, it was set down on the page before being lost or hidden. And it leaves a hint that there may be more to come. The fear of the dark woods beyond the fireside of civilization. Amazon review. This is a fascinating collection of short stories, narrative poems and pagan-inspired folklore-type stories of the darker ages. The tales are dark and visceral. There is nothing cuddly about them. This is grim, dark folklore that has more in common with real folklore than many modern interpretations of folklore you might choose to read. There is a grim, fascinating beauty to this collection, which is in essence background material for a larger body of work. That larger body of work is a reimagined version of the Robin Hood mythology. If this is anything to go by, that too will be grimmer and darker than you would generally expect. There isn't much in the way of Lincoln Green and merry thigh-slapping going on here. The narrative poem structure of much of this work only adds to the sense of agelessness and timelessness of the stories. They read as if meant to be performed. Performed on a dark summer's night, under the stars, around a campfire that crackles and spits as if it will rage out of control at any moment. Performed by men and women with antlers tied to their heads. At least you hope they are tied on, not grown. This is visceral, dark, grim, and engrossing stuff. It feels real. It feels like the folklore of an England long vanished and forgotten, when Sherwood was a boundless, forbidding forest, full of spirits both benevolent and malicious, often both at the same time. Hunter and hunted, stag and wolf. A wonderful collection of pagan stories. Audible review. A sometimes scary, always fascinating collection of stories, beautifully read, perfect for the spooky season. Passionately narrated, fascinating material. As someone who failed to finish The Prince, Machiavelli, and struggled with Dante's Inferno, old language tales have been difficult for me. This, however, has won me over. Joanna's narration pulls you in as she clearly understands and enjoys the material, passing on her enthusiasm for it in her storytelling. It brings a whole new appreciation for old pagan tales, and I would recommend it for anyone who is fond of campfire tales and magic. Unexpectedly captivating. Audible review. I went into this audiobook a little blind, with no knowledge of pagan, Anglo-Saxon or Norse mythology, but I was captivated. This is well beyond my usual reading material, which left me all the more compelled as it gripped me. This is a collection of tales with the common thread of mythology tying them together, Hernangaz. And the question is he the legend on which Robin Hood was built? With ancient gods, a dark forest, great oaks and mighty stags, the book delves into old English mythology in the depths of Sherewode. There is no doubt that this audio production is skillfully done, with the narrator, Joanna Swan, literally pulling you into the stories with incredible performance skills. With the addition of apt music and sound effects, the experience is akin to an audio drama. It is highly recommended for those interested in Old English and pagan mythology and history, or those who fancy something entirely different to carry them off for a while. Brilliant. Engaging stories told by a captivating narrator. Audible review. As someone who has never taken an interest in pagan, Norse or woodland folklore, I was concerned that this would be littered with references that I didn't understand. I needn't have worried. The tales skillfully create a vivid picture of life in the Dark Ages without requiring prior knowledge. Although they are all interlinking tales, they each stand up independently as great pieces of storytelling, so you can dip in and out at will. I don't know if the book was written as a performative piece, but once you've heard Joanna Swan's superb narration, it's obvious why these tales lend themselves to an audio drama format. Joanna offers a sense of authority, instills the tales with deep emotion when required, and just generally heightens the sense of drama throughout. She was hugely captivating with her range of accents, voices, keeping me hooked on stories that I couldn't have imagined myself listening to beforehand. Having come across it in this format, however, I am definitely keen to hear more.